Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and these are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. Infiltration bids foiled in Jammu and Kashmir. 7 terrorists killed, 3 terrorists shot dead in a Fedayeen attack on an army camp in Kupwara district. China extends technical hold on India's attempt to secure a UN ban against Masood Azhar. India criticizes Security Council for being unresponsive and indecisive. India launches its latest communication satellite, the GSAT-18 from French Guyana. 3.4-ton satellite expected to boost banking and television services. And the Supreme Court asks BCCI to implement Lodha Committee recommendations to reform cricket body. BCCI refuses to give undertaking to abide by all directions of the panel. Our top story this evening: in another ceasefire violation in Jammu and Kashmir, the army today killed 7 terrorists in 2 separate incidents. 3 were killed in the Naugam sector after the army foiled 3 infiltration bids along the line of control. In another incident, 3 terrorists were killed in an early morning attack on an army camp at Langat in North Kashmir. Meanwhile, massive search operations are going along the line of control. This is the 3rd terror attack this month.
7 terrorists were killed in Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday. While 3 were killed during an infiltration bid in the Naugam sector, the other was shot dead in Rampur. 2 army jawans were also injured in the attack. Earlier, 3 terrorists were killed in a gunfight that erupted after they attacked an army camp in Kupwara district. The terrorists attacked 30 Rashtriya Rifles camp in Langate in army combat dress.
Our quick reaction team was activated. They localized the area where the terrorist was spotted, and after that we carried out sanitization of that localized area, in which 3 Pakistani terrorists were eliminated.
A huge quantity of arms and ammunition were also recovered from the terrorists.
AK-47 rifles, 2 UBGL launchers, large quantity of small arm ammunition and grenades, GPS for navigation, radio sets for communication.
Responding to the attacks, Jammu and Kashmir Deputy Chief Minister Nirmal Singh said India's armed forces were ready to face any challenge posed by the terrorists from across the border.
इस प्रकार से उड़ी के बाद और ये सारा जो हुआ है, और जिस प्रकार से पाकिस्तान टेररिज्म के ऊपर और उनका जो ये सारी बातें पूरी दुनिया में जो है वो आइसोलेट हुआ है, उससे पाकिस्तान भी और उनके जो उग्रवादी हैं जिनको पाल पोस रहे हैं वो काफी डेस्परेशन, और उसी डेस्परेशन में चाहे वो बॉर्डर फायरिंग करने की कोशिश हो रही है, कर रहे हैं वो, चाहे वो इस प्रकार के अटैक्स हैं, तो ऐसा तो एक्सपेक्टेड था ही, तो उसके लिए हम पूरी तैयारी है.
In the wake of the army's surgical strikes across the border, there have been repeated ceasefire violations in the last few days. The army is on alert, expecting an increase in infiltration attempts by the militants. Normal life continues to remain paralyzed as the valley enters its 90th day of shutdown due to the separatist-sponsored strikes. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar today hit out at politicians who are demanding proof of the surgical strikes by India across the line of control on September 29th. He reiterated that there is no reason for the government to share proof of these strikes.
100% perfect surgical strike मुझे लगता है बहुत कम समय पूरे दुनिया ने देखा होगा, लेकिन हमारे सैनिकों के पास ये जिगर है, ये शौर्य है कि वो केवल काम करने से रुकते नहीं है, लेकिन काम पूरा 100% सक्सेस के साथ करते हैं। भारत सरकार को कुछ और वीडियो जारी करने का या प्रूफ देने का कुछ मायना ही बचा नहीं।
In the wake of the surgical strikes across the line of control, Pakistan is facing the heat not only on the international stage but also from its people. People demonstrations are being reported in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, all directed against the Nawaz Sharif government for its support to terrorist outfits in the region.
Scenes of protest from the Neelam Valley in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Local residents want terror outfits like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed to shift their bases elsewhere. They complain that the terrorists are making their lives a living hell in the region.
सबसे पहले मैं मजम्मत करता हूं रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर की इस कैपिटल सिटी के अंदर लश्कर तैयबा के जहादी कैंपों की। सबसे पहले भरपूर अंदाज में इसकी मजम्मत करें।
जहां कहीं भी दहशतगर्दों के तालिबान के कैंप बने हुए हैं उनको खत्म नहीं किया तो फिर हम भी मजबूर होंगे कि इंतहाई इकदाम करने पर।
The protesters disclosed that the terrorists are insinuating jihadi views in their school syllabus to indoctrinate children.
की कुछ जहादी तंजीमें जो अक़वाम आलम ने बैन की हुई हैं, जिनके ऊपर पाबंदी है, उन्होंने जो है अपनी ऊपर जो है वो कैमोफ्लाज करके जो है वो यहाँ पर आके बच्चों को जो है वो एक दहशतगर्दी की जो है वो राह है या उस ट्रेंड पे जो है वो उसको चढ़ाने जा रहे हैं।
The protests at the local level against the Pakistani government are being echoed on the international stage as well. No country at present except China is on its side. Even the Pakistani opposition is not holding back. Edzaz Ehsan, leader of the People's Party, told the Pakistani Parliament on Wednesday that the free run given to the so-called non-state actors is making the country an international untouchable. At the United Nations, India's permanent representative Syed Akbaruddin once again accused Pakistan of running a terror factory.
Just less than 10 days ago, the General Assembly Hall witnessed a high-level debate. It also witnessed a singular lack of support for the representative of Pakistan's baseless claims. Need one say more? Our response to Pakistan is consistent. Abandon your futile quest. The state of Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India and will remain so. No amount of misuse of international platforms by Pakistan will change that reality.
Akbaruddin says blocking India's proposal to ban Jaish-e-Mohammed's Masood Azhar is the main reason why Pakistan is not feeling compelled to shut down its terror activity. He feels this has also weakened the UN Security Council. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Pakistan's Army Chief General Raheel Sharif has slammed India for spreading what he calls a litany of falsehoods. He warned India that any aggression against Pakistan would not go unpunished.
Pakistan's Army Chief General Raheel Sharif has accused India of spreading a litany of falsehoods. He warned that any aggression or a strategic miscalculation against his country would not go unpunished. He also called upon the international community to condemn the Indian fabrications about Pakistan, saying his country has made unparalleled contributions against the global fight against terror. General Sharif's comments come amidst the increased strain on Indo-Pak ties following the Uri terror attack and India's response in the form of surgical strikes on terror launch pads inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Even though Pakistan continues to deny that any strikes took place, its Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had tried to calm the situation on Wednesday, saying Pakistan was against war and wanted to resolve all issues, including Kashmir, in a peaceful manner.
हम जंग के खिलाफ हैं। हम खित्ते में पायदार अमन चाहते हैं। हम कश्मीर समेत तमाम मसाइल संजीदा बामकसद और नतीजा खेज मुज़ाकरात के जरिए हल करना चाहते हैं। हम इस सोची समझी राह पर साबित कदमी से चलते रहेंगे, लेकिन अमन की इस ख्वाहिश को एक पुरवकार, बाइज्जत और खुददार कौम की ख्वाहिश समझा जाए।
Pakistan has been increasingly isolated at the international level, with the SAARC summit to be held in Islamabad being cancelled after members pulled out. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some domestic political news now, and Rahul Gandhi today accused the ruling BJP of playing politics on the issue of surgical strikes. He also blamed the NDA government for what he claimed not doing enough for farmers.
जो हमारे जवान हैं, जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो, ये बिल्कुल गलत है.
Congress Vice President jumped into the ongoing verbal duel between the government and the opposition on the matter of surgical strikes conducted by the Indian Army last week. On the last day of its Kisan Yatra, which culminated in Delhi on Thursday, Rahul Gandhi accused the ruling party of playing politics over this issue. He also alleged that the BJP is disrupting the social harmony of the country.
आपने हिंदुस्तान को, एक हिंदुस्तानी को दूसरे हिंदुस्तानी से लड़ाने का काम किया है, हिंदुस्तान को बांटने का काम किया है.
Congress General Secretary and in charge of the party's affair in Uttar Pradesh, Ghulam Nabi Azad, promised to waive farm loans if his party forms the government in the state in the forthcoming elections.
जो मुद्दा लेकर राहुल गांधी जी चले थे, कर्जा माफ करने का, बिजली हाफ करने का और एमएसपी का, मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस का, लेकिन एक वादा हम सरकार में जब आएंगे तो कर्जा माफ पहली प्राथमिकता होगी और पहला फैसला कांग्रेस पार्टी का होगा.
Rahul Gandhi had embarked on a month-long Kisan Yatra from Devaiya in Uttar Pradesh in a bid to connect with the people ahead of the assembly elections in the state. With Panchanan Mishra, Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
And the BJP has, however, dismissed Rahul Gandhi's comments as shameful and a sign of the state of his mind. The party said that the Congress Vice President's remarks are a new low in Indian politics.
जहां देश सैल्यूट कर रहा है अपने आर्म फोर्सेस को, अपने प्राइम मिनिस्टर को, वहीं फ्रस्ट्रेशन में राहुल गांधी इस तरह की बयानबाजी कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि दलाली से राहुल का बहुत लंबा अटैचमेंट है. क्योंकि इन्होंने डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट में कांग्रेस ने दलाली खाई, चावल चीनी में दलाली खाई, स्पेक्ट्रम में दलाली खाई, कोयले में दलाली खाई, एयरसेल मैक्सिस डील में दलाली खाई, वीआईपी चॉपर स्कैम में दलाली खाई. तो दलाली की पराकाष्ठा देखिए कि इन्होंने जो आतंकवादियों को ट्रेनिंग देने वाला एक संस्थान था, उससे भी दलाली खा ली. तो जिस तरह का भाव उनका रहा है, जिस तरह से 10 साल तक उन्होंने 12 लाख करोड़ की दलाली कांग्रेस ने खाई है, तो ऐसे व्यक्ति से आप क्या अपेक्षा कर सकते हैं.
Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Down the ages, jewellery has been the pride of the Indian culture. In the Harappan period, it attained perfection in flattened gold bands. From the Mauryan period came the exquisite gold brooches. Many ornaments were an extension of religious practices, like the Gauri Shankaram Rudraksh necklace worn by the temple priest. Rings with lids preserved the taweez that held secret messages and sometimes even poison.
The splendid, grand and massive neo-Buddhist copper dome of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. It gets its influence from stupa at Sanchi. The dome is more than twice the height of the rest of the building. The reinforced concrete shell of the outer dome began to be formed during the beginning of 1929. The last stone of the dome was laid on April 6, 1929.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, the government today claimed that the ease of doing business will help India pull off 8% growth over the next couple of decades. Speaking at the India Economic Summit in the national capital, Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman stressed on removing regulatory hurdles that affect India's competitiveness. Sitharaman, however, asserted that the government's priority remains job creation.
After the IMF revised India's GDP forecast to 7.6% on robust growth momentum, the government has exuded confidence that the country's economic growth may touch 8%. Speaking at the India Economic Summit at the World Economic Forum, Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that states are working jointly with the centre to propel economic growth. Sitharaman added that FDI flows to India have increased significantly and this has to be translated into job creation.
Talking about ease of doing business, or when you're talking about equitable growth, inclusive and equitable growth for a sustained future, all of this sits well with what the government of India is doing.
The unemployment rate in India shot up to a 5-year high of 5% in 2015-2016. Unemployment stood at 8.7% for women as compared to 4.3% for men. Around 77% of the households do not have a regular salary earner. Experts say the various flagship programs of the government on skill development lack interlinkage.
Some of the flagship programs in this context, particularly the Skill India, the Startup India, the Make in India, how we establish interlinkages between these programs, that would in a way provide major boost to our economic growth. And that's important because that would help in creating jobs at the ground level.
India's economy grew 7.1% in the first quarter of 2015-2016. However, jobless economic growth continues to haunt India's youth. With 1 million individuals entering the labour force every month, creating productive jobs is perhaps the biggest challenge facing the country. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
In a major boost to India's telecommunication services, the country successfully launched its latest communication satellite, GSAT-18, early on Thursday morning. European Space Agency Arianespace carried out the successful launch from the spaceport of Kourou in French Guiana.
While most Indians are sleeping, the skies above French Guiana lit up in the wee hours of Thursday as India launched its latest communication satellite, the GSAT-18. Delayed by a day due to bad weather, the launch was successfully carried out by the giant Ariane 5 rocket from the spaceport of Kourou in French Guiana. Built by the Indian Space Research Organisation, the 3.4-ton satellite will help boost banking and television services.
Today, they have launched our 20th mission. I do not have any hesitation to say that during all these launch campaigns, our teams have received excellent support from Arianespace and CSG for preparing the satellites for the launch.
Announcing the successful launch of the satellite, Arianespace CEO Stephen Israel took to Twitter to congratulate the team. President Pranab Mukherjee also congratulated ISRO for the successful launch. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed it as another milestone in India's space program. GSAT-18 strengthens ISRO's current fleet of 14 operational telecom satellites. Carrying 48 transponders, it provides services in the normal C-band and upper extended C-bands of the frequency spectrum. It has a mission life of 15 years. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more national news stories now in Nationwide. RJD MLA Raj Ballav Yadav, who is accused of raping a minor, met RJD Chief Lalu Yadav in Patna on Thursday. The Supreme Court will hear the Bihar government's petition against the bail granted to him by the Patna High Court on Friday. Ballav Yadav called the meeting a courtesy visit and he said he had no grudge against the state government for opposing his bail plea. The Consumer Affairs Ministry is said to be considering a proposal to ban celebrities from endorsements if they are found guilty of being part of misleading advertisements. The Parliamentary Standing Committee had earlier recommended a jail term of up to 5 years and a fine of 50 lakh rupees for celebrities endorsing misleading ads. A group of ministers headed by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, however, asked the ministry to look at laws of other countries before finalizing the amendments to the bill. The commission set up to probe Hyderabad Central University student Rohit Vemula's suicide has said that the material on record did not establish that he was a Dalit and attributed his suicide to personal reasons. The commission also said that Rohit's mother branded herself as a Dalit to avail benefits of reservation. The commission gave a clean chit to Union Minister Smriti Irani and Bandaru Dattatreya. The university authorities too were absolved of any blame for Vemula's death, as the commission held that they were not working under political pressure. The Thane police on Wednesday arrested 700 call center workers on suspicion of tricking American citizens into sending them money by posing as U.S. tax officials. More than 700 workers were detained in raids on 9 call centers in a Mumbai suburb. Thane police reportedly learned of the scam after a disgruntled employee of one of the call centers involved tipped off the cops. Time for some sports now, and the Supreme Court has given the Board of Control for Cricket in India 1 day to decide whether to fall in line and implement the recommendations of the Lodha panel or face the consequences. If the board fails to implement the recommendations, the apex court could even supersede BCCI's office bearers, including its president Anurag Thakur and secretary Ajay Shirke, as requested by the Lodha panel. A 3-judge bench headed by Chief Justice of India T.S. Thakur also told the BCCI that it was defying its orders and obstructing the Lodha panel. The court is expected to pass further orders on Friday after the BCCI said it would be difficult for it to give an undertaking that it will implement all the recommendations. The BCCI's contention that the state boards do not come under it also came in for a lot of flack from the Supreme Court. The court asked why then was the BCCI giving money to state boards at all.
बीसीसीआई के लिए ये ब्लैक थर्सडे था, क्योंकि जिस तरह देश के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के सामने उन्होंने एक पे एक झूठ का सहारा लिया, पैसा देते हैं 29 तारीख को और 30 तारीख को मीटिंग में पास करते हैं। कोर्ट ने सारे चीजों को पकड़ा है, वो भी करोड़ में, जो हर साल 25 से 30 करोड़ रुपया एक स्टेट क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन को दिया जाता है। कोर्ट ने आज अपना जजमेंट रिजर्व कर लिया, आजकल कभी भी जजमेंट आ सकता है। बीसीसीआई ने फाइनली कोई भी अंडरटेकिंग देने से इनकार कर दिया है।
Some more sports action now in Sports Beat. Ukrainian Elena Svitolina scored her second win this year over a world number 1, beating Angelique Kerber in the round of 16 in Beijing on Thursday. 19th rank Svitolina won the game 6-3, 7-5 and advanced to the China Open quarterfinals. Goalkeeper P.R. Srijesh will lead an 18-member Indian men's hockey team in the 4th Asian Champions Trophy to be held in Kuantan, Malaysia from 20th to 30th October. Hockey India selectors have named 24-year-old midfielder Manpreet Singh as the vice-captain of the side for this tournament. Bangladesh welcomed England to Dhaka for the first match of the tourist month-long tour that starts on Friday. Bangladesh's captain Mushraf Murtaza said sporting action will take centre stage now after months of hype over the security situation in the country. FIFA Vice President Victor Montagliani has said that an increase in the size of the World Cup was likely for the 2026 competition. He also disclosed yesterday that Russia and Qatar being awarded tournaments presented an opportunity to clean the sport. Some international news now, and fighting in the northern Afghan city of Kunduz entered its 4th day after Taliban militants slipped past the city's defenses earlier in the week. Afghan troops in armored vehicles have pushed Taliban militants out of the city. Government troops backed by US Special Forces and airstrikes have repeatedly declared that they are in control of the city. But residents report that people have fled due to heavy fighting. The continuous infighting in Kunduz has forced many hospital staff to flee, further jeopardizing medical care of hundreds. Thousands of residents have also fled the city, with those remaining facing severe shortages of food, water and electricity. Some more international news now in Global Buzz. The fiercest Caribbean storm in nearly a decade slammed into the Bahamas early on Thursday and is expected to intensify as it battles towards the southeastern United States coast, forcing a mass exodus in 4 states. Roadways in Florida, Georgia and North and South Carolina were packed with millions heeding warnings to flee inland as Hurricane Matthew approached. Matthew, which killed at least 26 people and damaged hundreds of homes in southern Haiti, was predicted to strengthen from Category 3 to 4 storm en route to eastern Florida. Landfall is expected there on Thursday night. A group of women activists who tried to break Israel's decade-long blockade of the Gaza Strip have been held pending deportation after the Israeli Navy intercepted their boat. The 13 women, including Nobel Peace Prize winner Mered Maguire, were detained on Wednesday evening after their sailboat was stopped around 35 nautical miles off the Gaza coast. The Norwegian Prime Minister was caught playing Pokemon Go during a debate in the country's parliament. Erna Solberg was pictured playing the game during a debate on Tuesday. This isn't even the first time a Norwegian politician has been caught playing the game while in parliament. The leader of Norway's Liberal Party was seen playing the game during a meeting on national security back in August. Ironically, that same leader was the one speaking in parliament as the PM tried to catch them all. Well, that's the news tonight. Good night.